Hey friends, today we are looking at the SR-71 Blackbird. This is a set by Reobrix. It's their set number 33041 with 1,733 pieces. And in this video, we're going to take a closer look at all the details here. We'll look at the bottom, and there's some interesting things for how they did the landing gear that I was surprised by and I really appreciated. So what is this plane? It is a stealth surveillance plane, and we're going to ask Google about it. Hey Google, tell me about the SR-71 Blackbird.
The State Route 71 Blackbird was a legendary long-range strategic reconnaissance aircraft developed by Lockheed's Skunk Works during the Cold War. It was designed to fly at altitudes above 85,000 feet and speeds exceeding Mach 3, making it virtually invulnerable to enemy interceptors and missiles. Built largely of titanium to withstand extreme temperatures, it carried sophisticated sensors capable of surveying 100,000 square miles in an hour.
So I don't know why Google just call it state route. So I'll look into that and figure out why it called it that. But as you can tell, I mean, it's an impressive plane. I've seen one of these in person in Los Angeles at the Museum of Natural History and Science, I want to say. There's like two museums there. And it is super cool. There's also one near where I live.
It's a common point of confusion, but the SR in State Route 71 actually stands for Strategic Reconnaissance, not State Route. It's definitely a sight to
Hey,
behold
Google,
in
stop.
person.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so now we have our answer. All right, so the plane is in this glossy black. There's a lot of black here. I do wish that they actually had used a matte black that you see with Fantasy did a DJ device that actually used a matte black, and that would have been super cool if they had done that here. Here's a minifigure for scale. I almost think that this could be minifigure scale. It's 33 inches long, so right around 84 centimeters, 33 inches long. Wingspan here, we're at about 17 inches or 43 centimeters. And you can see that there's quite a few decorations on it. These are all dual transfer stickers, and it had two large sheets for it. I want to thank my buddy Devin for building this, and he provided a picture of how it looks side by side with his son. And so you can see it's a pretty big ship. And I told him to use his discretion on some of the decals, because you can see there are some decals that don't make sense. They're just so bright and big. And this is one of my this is one of the quirks about Reobrix that I don't enjoy, which is sometimes they overdo it on the graphics for their graphic design. And so I'm not sure why they do what they do. I think maybe they're thinking, well, let's make sure it looks eye-catching as a toy. But unfortunately, the more they create kind of these graphics, it becomes heavy-handed and it looks less and less realistic. Devin made a good choice by leaving those particular stickers off of it. Let's go handheld a little bit. It'll be a little bit shaky. I apologize, but for now, that's really the only way I can get in closer. So you can see that there's a nose with one of those antenna pieces, and coming up, you see really smart use of one of those canopy pieces, and that also can open up. So I'll put up an image of what it looks like when you put a minifigure into it. It's got two seats back to back, or I don't know what you call it, in tandem. So you're able to put a minifigure into both of those seats right there, which is kind of cool. And this area here, it is matte, and that's sort of what you would see with Lego bricks as well. But everything else is kind of this shiny sheen to it, the normal bricks that you would get in black. Like I said, would have been really cool if it was matte color there too. But you know, I understand there would be cost involved with that. Really like the shaping for the wings. And you can see these decorations here add some extra texture right on along the top there. I'm going to put up some pictures, or maybe I'll just flip through the instructions, and you can see how it's built in here. It almost reminds me of the UCS Millennium Falcon, the structure, the technique, and the different things they did to make it strong. And it is strong. This thing can probably be swished around. This is kind of cool, this use of these silver painted, or these thrusters and the exhaust for it. I think that's really cool. And I will put a link to the technical background for the SR-71. I thought was amazing because it actually has two kinds of propulsion built into each of these engines, and that's what helps it go as fast or go as far as it can, which is pretty amazing. All right, and it almost looks like it can't fly, right? So this was made in the 1960s, I want to say, and yet it still looks like a spaceship. It still looks like something you would see in a sci-fi film. Before we look at the underside and look at how the landing gear works, I wanted to show you a little bit about the instructions, and you can see just how it's built. Look at this. So if you've ever built even the smaller Millennium Falcon, you know how strong it can get when you configure your Technic bricks in this configuration. Then you lock them in with plates. It becomes quite strong. So I am impressed with how they handled that. And then it's even further strengthened because they were strategic about how they placed the bricks for the overall skin that you get on the outside. So that adds additional rigidity, sort of like if you're building a house and you add sheathing to the outside. That's what really, really helps. So they did a great job there. All right, so let's turn this thing over. I found I can pick it up by the thrusters and by the engines. And I mean, just look at how strong that is. Not sure if underneath I could pick it up there too, but there are some areas underneath where it makes it pretty strong. Okay, so turning it over, this is where it gets delicate here. Let's take a look at how this landing gear works. Check this out. It is on a spring, so there's a metal spring in there, and you just push it down like that. So now it's out of the way. And so to deploy it, you just do this. You flip it up and it snaps into place and locks in place so it can't go back down. So it's pretty ingenious. I have not seen that particular design before. I think that is terrific what they did there. And then on the front, it does not have a spring, but it does have this light right there. And oh, I'm sorry, it does have a spring. It doesn't do exactly the same motion, but it's pretty cool. So it locks down in there. There's a spring in there, and you just flip these levers, and then it pops it up. So the spring in this case is right here. So it does come up with some force because of that. It doesn't lock it in. It does have some give, but it's still pretty great. And then these act as levers to get it out of there, because otherwise it'd be kind of hard to get the front landing gear out of the well. All right. So that I thought was really amazing. And the fact that I'm holding this upside down right now will tell you that this is really well engineered and very, very strong. All right, so that's my look at the SR-71. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got to see everything you wanted to see. Really cool set from Reobrix. I thought they did a great job. Thanks so much for watching. Like the video if you like it. Hit subscribe if you haven't. I mean, I specialize in alternative brick sets that Lego will not make. Things that I encounter on Amazon all the time, all right? And if you want to buy this one, I do have an affiliate link where you can pick this up on Amazon too. All right, thanks so much.